If Boots get hurt like he did the last time, Ortiz gonna finish him.
Vergil Ortiz is a killer, one of the best finishers in all of boxing. You've got to shore up that defense. You got to move a little bit more, be willing to box a little bit more, throw that jab a little bit more. These are all lessons I think Boots will take from that. And maybe you're happy about it, right? Like if you had fought Vergil Ortiz right away, maybe you fight like that, and Vergil might,
Terence Crawford has explained why he believes Vergil Ortiz Jr. has a legitimate chance of defeating Jaron Boots Ennis. With both undefeated talents looking to establish themselves among the sports elite, Crawford sees certain qualities in Ortiz that could give him an important advantage if the highly anticipated matchup eventually takes place.
He's faster than most. He's more explosive than most. If Boots get hurt like he did the last time, Ortiz gonna...
Robert Garcia holds a similar opinion, emphasizing Ortiz's physical strength and aggressive offensive approach. From Garcia's perspective, those attributes could make things extremely uncomfortable for Enis while giving Vergil the weapons necessary to control momentum and potentially take over key moments of the fight.
I agree with Vergil. I think if Vergil is able to, fight Boots and we were able to get those punches, I think it's over. I think Vergil is not going to hold back. Vergil has great, insane power at 154. So I think Vergil.
Roy Jones Jr. believes Ortiz is currently fighting at the best level of his career and could push Enis into situations he has never encountered before. Jones expects Vergil to demand the very best from Boots, arguing that when Ortiz is performing at his peak, finding a way to defeat him becomes an extremely difficult challenge.
Place to beat him at. You understand? I mean, this guy gonna get Boots all Boots wants. Now we're gonna find out some truths and facts about Boots that I think we already know, but he gonna make Boots have to dig deep in his bag. You feel me? And because Vergil is not a joke, he's peaked right now. He's the best we ever gonna see Vergil Ortiz right now. When you find that man, it's...
Sean Porter has noticed significant growth from Ortiz over the last several years. In his view, Enis has continued displaying the same exceptional natural talent that originally made him such a highly touted prospect. Porter still rates Boots among boxing's elite, but believes there is another level of development that Enis has yet to fully reach.
I've seen Boots in game growing. We have for Vergil.
Yeah.
We've seen Vergil become a better version of himself.
Yeah.
We've seen Boots be an amazing version of himself over and over and over and over and over. You know? And I think that there comes a time where amazing becomes magnificent. And I think he has the ability to become magnificent, but there's something there that's preventing that. I just think he's been just simply amazing. And I think that even for someone of his talent, of his stature, that the way he's grown in this thing, I think there's another level for him as well. And I don't think he's...
Tim Bradley offers a completely different prediction. He sees very little reason to believe Ortiz can successfully deal with everything Enis brings into the ring. Bradley has tremendous confidence in Boots' combination of timing, technical ability, and overall skill, believing those qualities would ultimately determine the outcome if this anticipated showdown finally happens.
Ortiz can't beat no Boots Ennis. Vergil Ortiz can't beat no Boots Ennis. I promise you. Vergil Ortiz ain't beating no Boots. Yeah, the next fight is gonna be against Boots Ennis. And you ain't... Man, listen to me, people. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Skill versus skill.
Breadman Edwards is particularly impressed by Ortiz's fundamentals and compact punching combinations, which he believes could cause significant problems for Enis. Vergil is capable of producing serious power while maintaining defensive responsibility, forcing Boots to make adjustments to avoid absorbing clean shots. Even so, Edwards gives Enis the edge, largely based on what he observed during Ortiz's fight with Bohachuk.
He's fundamentally sound. He gets off right from where his hands are at. So where Boots' kind of hands are a little bit like loopy a little bit, Vergil gets off from right there. So stylistically, Boots will have to adjust from a guy that's getting off right from the point of attack. I think he can. He knows how to hold his hands up. He just has to, his dad chewed him out. So he just has to, listen a little bit. And I think he'll be okay. But that's the little adjustment that he will have to make, because Vergil gets off from the high guard and they're not light punched. He's ripping them. Virgil's a talented dude, man. I like Vergil. But the Boacek fight is why I would pick Boots, to be honest with you. That's why I would pick Boots in the fight. Because I think Boacek is an excellent guy, but I think that he had too much success against Vergil for Vergil.
Chris Algieri approaches the matchup by examining what makes Ortiz such a dangerous competitor at 154 pounds. He believes Vergil combines natural talent with tremendous potential and possesses the ability necessary to challenge virtually anyone in the division. According to Algieri, that upside makes a future meeting with Enis even more compelling.
Be fully transparent, Vergil's my guy. And Jaron, with the level of talent he has, he can beat anybody on any given night. So, yeah, it's a really...
Max Kellerman expects Enis versus Ortiz to be an extremely competitive contest. He gives Boots a slight advantage because of his physical attributes and defensive skills, while also acknowledging that Ortiz has already tested himself against tougher opposition. Kellerman believes a victory over Vergil would represent another major statement for Enis and further strengthen his standing among boxing's best.
Longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, and that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Vergil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
especially
fights,
in that type of manner.
Who should be the favorite in that fight, Shady?
I'm going with Boots.
Favorite.
Yeah.
He should be the betting favorite.
Yes.
I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Vergil Ortiz has fought a much, much better competition.
That's true.
He beat Israel Madrimov, very quality win. Madrimov gave Crawford all he could handle.
This fight happens and Boots wins a close, tough fight. Then
Andy Rozier also favors Jaron Boots Ennis, pointing to his athleticism, technical skills, and natural fighting instincts as significant advantages. However, Rozier recognizes the danger Ortiz brings through his constant pressure and serious punching power. In his opinion, those qualities could turn the matchup into a relentless and physically exhausting battle.
I have to definitely side with nephew. Boots is, I think his talent is very, very, very good, and I think it's going to be difficult. But Vergil is a monster, so it's going to be interesting. I can't wait.
Danny Garcia views a clash between these two fighters as the kind of matchup that could shape boxing's next generation. He respects the talent and ambition coming from both sides, but gives a slight edge to Enis. Garcia believes Ortiz's aggressive approach could actually create openings for Boots and provide him with opportunities to capitalize on defensive mistakes.
I think that's the fight. I mean, you win that fight, you definitely in the top 10 to me.
Right.
You know,
for sure.
That's a young champion, a young killer just like you. That's what makes good fights. Young, hungry fighters.
Right.
That's when you know there's going to be a fight, you know?
Right.
They fighting for legacy. They fighting for that. They want that big bag. They want to be a champion. They want all that stuff. So that fight right there is probably would be like a fight of the year type fight.
Who wins?
I think Boots beats him just because Vergil he can fight, but I think he's going to be in front of him. He's going to be in front of Boots, and that's his style.
Right.
Greg Hackett believes Enis is capable of adjusting his style depending on whoever stands across from him, making this particular matchup extremely difficult to predict. He also considers Ortiz's compact combinations a dangerous weapon, especially in situations where previous opponents have failed to exploit openings. Rather than confidently selecting a winner, Hackett believes the real answer will only emerge once both fighters finally meet inside the ring.
I don't know, because I feel like you get different versions of Boots depending on who he's fighting. Right. But I'm not gonna lie, if Vergil might have been able to do a little more if he got Boots buzz like that. You know what I mean? Because he throw a tighter shot. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, because we gotta wait and see. That's some shit.
Jesse Bam Rodriguez views an Enis-Ortiz showdown as one of boxing's biggest potential fights. Because he has strong relationships with individuals connected to both fighters, Bam decided against predicting an outcome. He did acknowledge his close connection with Ortiz, however, and believes this matchup could eventually become a defining moment for the sport. With both fighters continuing along similar paths, he feels their meeting may eventually become impossible to avoid.
Very good fight for the fight fans. You know, I have a good relationship with both fighters, so I don't really want to speak on it, but Vergil being my teammate, you know how that works. But like I said, the fans are the real winners at the end of the night, so hopefully it does happen, because boxing does need that fight. Boxing is, you know, they want that fight very bad, and I think both fighters do as well, so I feel like it's just a matter of time.
Even with all the excitement surrounding a possible fight with Ortiz, Boots Ennis appears to have a different priority at the moment. Vergil does not seem to be his immediate target. Instead, Enis appears increasingly focused on a potential showdown with Sebastian Fundora, who currently looks like the more realistic opponent on his path forward.
Now. He made us wait. You listen to Boots, what's next? Boots already sound on Fundora. I think Fundora is one of the best fighters in that division, and Boots sound Fundora. So Fundora said he's going to fight Boots. So it'll probably be in December. Probably be. I'm just throwing it off because Fundora.
Boots' father also explained why Fundora would represent such an unusual challenge, particularly because of the champion's incredible height, reach, and overall skill set. Nevertheless, he remains confident that his son possesses the ability to overcome those physical advantages. He believes a fight of that magnitude could force Enis to showcase new abilities and reveal parts of his game that fans have not witnessed before.
We're going to be able to do what we normally do. We're going to take care of that. You know what I mean? Fundora is a tall guy, long arms, and he can fight. You know what I mean? I want to see him, maybe he can bring Boots to another level. You know what I mean? Like I said, they ain't see them levels.
Boots himself appears completely willing to accept the challenge. He sees a matchup with Fundora as exactly the kind of elite-level test that generates excitement and puts a fighter under the spotlight. For Enis, facing another top champion would offer an opportunity to prove his ability, gain valuable experience, and further strengthen his position among boxing's biggest names.
Because he got a belt and he's 6'5" or 6'6" or something like that. That's something that everybody gonna want to go see that. They want.
Eddie Hearn views Sebastian Fundora as an especially difficult opponent because of his unusual physical dimensions and unconventional fighting style. Fundora presents problems that are extremely hard to recreate during a standard training camp. However, Hearn still believes Enis possesses the adaptability, ring intelligence, and technical skills necessary to gradually solve those challenges as the fight unfolds.
Got to be good enough to adapt to everything, and that's the problem. A lot of these guys, no disrespect to Keith Thurman, but he's been done for a while. Yeah. But Tim Tszyu, these kind of guys, they're all great fighters, but they just can't adapt to styles. Josh has got an unbelievable IQ. Boots has probably got the best IQ in the game, I think. They can adapt in those kind of fights, and that's what you need to do, because Fundora is a massive problem. Yeah. Because how do you prepare for him? I mean, so until you get in there, start getting hit by these arms.
Sean Porter believes Enis has major advantages in athleticism and natural ability, but he also recognizes just how difficult Fundora's style is to replicate in training. Porter questions whether Boots' camp can truly recreate the unique problems Sebastian brings into the ring, while also expecting Fundora and his team to enter the fight with a detailed and carefully prepared strategy.
It looks like he's supposed to beat Sebastian Fundora because he's so fast, because he's so electric, because he's shown tremendous power, because he's shown so many different movements and techniques, and everything jumps off the screen when it's Boots Ennis. But then when you got, like I always like to say, another weapon standing across from you, negating some of the things you do, forcing you to turn off some of the stuff you do. Now here's the thing that makes this guy dangerous to Boots. What I feel I know about Boots, I don't know if they game plan. To me, it seems like Boots is like, and Dad Bozy, we just gonna get you ready. Can't nobody beat you. Well, sometimes you gotta get ready for the guy across from you. And what I now know about this dude, he getting ready for who's across from him. And that's why I'm breathing like that, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, he's gonna be ready, he's gonna have the right weapons, and he's gonna be calling on the right weapons.
Paulie Malignaggi believes Fundora presents a set of challenges that are rarely found anywhere else in the division. His incredible height, massive reach, and punching power make him a dangerous assignment for Boots. Malignaggi also finds the matchup fascinating because both fighters possess weapons capable of disrupting the other's approach. He added that Fundora has evolved into a more complete fighter, showing better defense and greater control while still maintaining the physical traits that make him so difficult to handle.
Fundora is an awkward fight for anybody because of the height and the power that he's got at that weight. But really, to break it down, it would be interesting, and it's a really weird, strange fight to try to figure out who has the advantage there. Because Enis is streaking, but Fundora also seems like he's getting better and more difficult to deal with as well.
He's been through a little bit more too, like knocked out.
Yes. Yeah, has he been knocked down, all that other stuff? And yes, a lot of blowhards will talk about that. Oh, this guy dropped and this guy hurt him. But I think Fundora's actually gotten a lot better. I think Fundora, the last couple of fights, has really looked a lot better. He's less hittable, fighting in a more cerebral way. He's eliminated some of the flaws in his style while keeping some of the strengths, like keeping the strength. So for me, it's made him an even more difficult guy to deal with. And he was a difficult guy to deal with even with the flaws. But now that you have these improvements in Fundora's game and Fundora's style, I think he becomes even more.
Chris Algieri considers Fundora one of the hardest fighters in boxing to figure out, particularly because of his unique build and steady development. Sebastian has improved significantly at controlling range, establishing his jab, and choosing his attacks more efficiently rather than wasting unnecessary energy. Algieri also recognizes Fundora's defensive improvements, believing the combination of those skills with his natural physical advantages could make him an incredibly difficult puzzle for any opponent.
Such a difficult puzzle. He's so long, and he's getting better. He's improving. He's improving. He's learning how to use his size. He's using his jab. He's being more disciplined. He's not taking risks like he used to. Talk about a guy who used to allow people to hit him and then has figured out that you shouldn't do that at the highest level in that Brian Mendoza fight. But since then, he's been very, very good. So, yeah, I can understand why people would see him as the final guy because, again, with those physical advantages and the way that he's getting better, very.
Sean Zittel believes Fundora has finally figured out how to turn his extraordinary size into a genuine tactical advantage. Instead of simply depending on his reach, Sebastian now manages distance with greater intelligence, selects his shots more carefully, and keeps opponents under pressure through consistent activity. Zittel also notices a significant change in Fundora's mentality, saying the champion appears more composed and patient rather than constantly forcing exchanges.
Height, and he's getting better at using that height. He's gotten a lot better at doing it. It's making him harder to beat, but the downside of his frame is his waist is not flexible, and thus there's going to be really no head movement from Sebastian Fundora. His defense is his offense, and his defense, what makes him harder to hit is using the most of his distance and of his height and having a good sense of distance, when not to force the uppercut, which he doesn't do anymore really, when to, the right punch at the right distance, and the volume of punches is his defense. But I felt that he did show being more defensively sound, and he even took a step back once or twice or three times, which for him is a significant development, okay? This is a guy who would just go downhill, downhill, downhill off his jab, and you could just wing shots, and he's going to be right there, and you're going to...
If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest boxing news, fight updates, and analysis.